Hey folks, just going to show you some student loan elimination proof. This is a sample of the first page of a letter of a series of documents and a series of processes that was done with a friend of ours and addressed to Sally May, Chief Executive Officer, as well as some other companies here that allege to have a claim on the collections of the student loan payments. And before I read the first part of the letter here, I'm just going to read the top and explain in case this information is new to you. One of the processes among several, as you can see here, it says Freedom of Information request at the top. Very, very important that the letter that you write abide by and make clear that it is a Freedom of Information Act request and securitization inquiry because according to federal law that puts them into a corner in order to either produce certain documents to prove that they're the holder of the note or to discharge it. Okay, so right up here is demand they produce evidence that they're the quote holder of the note under the UCC, Uniform Commercial Code. Only the holder has a right to enforce to collect on an instrument. You have a right to find out about the note under federal law. You can also hire a securitization auditor to search the Bloomberg terminals, trace the assignments, mutual funds, and bonds for the note or loans, and any subsequent hypothecation events similar to fractional reserve banking procedures. So those of you who don't know what hypothecation is, you can Google it, you can look it up in the dictionary. But it's basically a form of fractional reserve banking where it's commercial paper. They take the document and they add it to their books as an asset, and then they fractionalize and create 9 or 10 times that amount. So you can get these reports. You can find people that do these reports. At this point, it's not necessary to do. It's not always necessary to do these reports, but it can be extremely helpful. But you can also put the burden of proof on them to do the reports and to prove their claim. Okay, if you're going to collect a debt on someone else, you point the finger to them and say you prove your claim. Okay, and they may ignore you, or they might give you some bullshit response like oh, you signed a student loan agreement, you took out a loan on such date. But unless you put it in a specific form, they can shoo it, but they can get into some serious trouble if they ignore a Freedom of Information Act request and different types of inquiries and things like that. There's other processes that I won't be going over into this video that mandates that they have to discharge it if you are a secured party creditor, and that is a topic for another video, or just get on our website and just read about the private citizen American National Secured Party Creditor process, and you can learn about that. There's plenty of information. I'll put some information in the links below. Okay, so some of these processes you need to become a secured party creditor for, and some of the processes you do not, and some of them are full-fledged and they will never come back on you, and some of them you may have a debt collector pop up and then you just keep doing the same process over and over again on them. So you got to look at your status. If you're doing this as a citizen, you do have rights under federal law, but if you're doing this as a secure party creditor, as a state citizen or a private citizen, then you have a few more options that you can do. So to the banks, a promise to pay is an asset that allows them to create leverage and borrow more. Just pull the Federal Reserve notes out of your pocket, right? Just pull the cash out of your pocket. It says that the United States owes $1, right? That the U.S. Treasury will pay the holder of that note, $5 or $20 or $100 if it's a $100 bill. So everything in this society, evidence of a debt, is traded in the private or in the public as money. That's what money is. There's no positive value to that piece of paper. It's just basically evidence evidence of a debt. Okay, so the companies that get you, the banks that get you to sign these promises to pay with them, take that and they leverage it, they deposit it as an asset, they fractionalize it, and they make money off of it 10 times the amount. So, I mean, that's just the business. That's what they do. That's what the banks do. There's no reason to get all bent out of shape about them over it. There's no reason to think that the solution is voting in a different presidential candidate in order to take care of student loans. Why not just understand the laws and understand what you can do to discharge it? Okay, so I'm not going to go over the whole letter. I'm not going to give away the whole letter here, but I'll just read the first sentence here. This request is made pursuant to the provisions of the Freedom of Information Act and the privacy for a full disclosure and release of all records, data contained in the files of your department or agency under the name, whoever the account holder, whoever the borrower of the loan, whatever. If this is your loan, then that would be your name, right, in all capital letters, and or its organization identification number. That's the Social Security number. This request sought herein is so the directors of this financial institution and actual owner institutions who are under oath and obligation to the United States laws and statutes to provide information from their SEC, Securities and Exchange Commission, files or from the files of their parent company in reference to alleged account number, and that would be the loan number or the current account number on that loan. This demand is made to satisfy the requester that this financial entity is operating within the bounds of the law and that the financial entity is subject to and that they have a legitimate claim and interest in respect to the contract, note, security, and or bond in accordance with all applicable laws. So I'm intending to make this a short video. I'm not going to read the whole thing. However, if you get to our website, understandcontractlawandyouvin.com, and you go over to the webinars tab, you can sign up for our private conference calls, where you can call on your phone and hit an access code and listen and get in line and ask questions and listen to other people asking questions, or you can get on a live webinar, which we do occasionally. We have 2 levels of webinars. We have free webinars by just signing up to our announcement list, and just by being on our list, we will send you invitations every so often to our free webinars. You can see a sample of one here. You can see if you go over to home and you watch this status correction webinar and you click this webinar replay, you can read the reviews down here. Overwhelmingly wonderful feedback. You guys are a breath of fresh air. I learned more in 2.5 hours than I ever learned in 2 years of research on the subject matter elsewhere. Awesome information. Very informative. What I like about you most is you don't bullshit people. Very rare to give someone to give it to you straight. So we have overwhelming positive feedback. You have nothing to lose. There are free webinars and there are premium private membership webinars for those who support our work with membership. So, you can check out some of the free webinars here if you like what you see, or you want to get on the next live one. Just on this right column here, any section on our page, under the right column, under the resources link, and under this red light camera prevention link to an outside site, right underneath that you've got stay tuned to our announcement list below. Exchange your information with us. If you put your information in here and you hit submit, select your primary area of interest, we will give you our information, including our company phone number with extension line numbers, email addresses, things like that, and you can get in touch with us. We also have a free documents section here, and we give away a lot of documents and samples and templates for free for your learning and for your education, and just as samples. And then we have a free 8-hour video deprogramming series. I think now it's actually over 10 hours. And information on why acceptance for value doesn't really work to do debt elimination like people say it does. We have a lot of information. Take the time. I know a lot of people might be viewing the website on their phone. When you get a chance, get on a actual computer and explore the site. There's sometimes your ability to click and see different sub products that are available, or different sections is a little bit easier when you view it on a computer. But when you get the chance, you could explore. You can click on the debt elimination sections here under administrative process. You got free education, free documents. You got a lot of different products and services that are offered, and you scroll down and you can really take the time to review all of them. And the status correction course is the one that gives you the premium webinars, which happen much more frequently than the free ones. There again, there's another sample. Here's just a list of some of the things that are in there. You can check out the product page right there, and then of course, contract with all the terms and conditions of what is exactly included in the price and what is not, just so that everything is 100% clear. So that you can make the decision clearly what, if it's worth the money to pay for it. But anyways, let me get back to, I didn't mean to go off on such a tangent, but a lot of you watching this may not know about our website, so I just wanted to make sure, because we are an amazing resource. There's overwhelming feedback, so we're here to help, and we have a whole team of people. So we do this for a living. So we have two sections. We have a lot of free stuff, and then we have some premium stuff. Let me just show you some of the proof that process that we did is effective. If you look on my buddies, we did this identical process to a few different companies that said that they had student loans accounts, and so I'm just going to show you a bunch of them. Let's see, zoom in here. Alright, so this is what I pulled off of my buddy's credit report. That's what you call it. Credit report. So you had Department of Education / Navient, that's their address and stuff. And whoop, someone messaging me. Here you go. After we served them with these letters and did a full process, the $234,000 debt, as you can see back here, March 2014, it was $219,000, and with interest it had jumped all the way up to $234,000 debt on this student loan. Account history: 90 days since past due, 120 days past due, 150 days past due, 180 days past due, and all of a sudden you see that it was closed due to a transfer. Status: transferred, comma, closed. Okay, they're always going to say something like transferred in order to fool you, but the account is closed. It does no longer exist. Okay, we'll go to the next one. That was the Department of Education. Let's pull up this one. This is, as you can see up here, Sally Mae was another one of these companies that had picked it up and were contacting, and that's their address. And as you can see here, date that it was closed, August 2015. Type of loan: educational loan. Activity description: transfer / sold. And as you can see, this is the 81-month payment history. I think NR, I forgot what NR actually exactly stands for, but I think that means that you're in current, you're not deficient in any way, you're not in default, you're not in deficiency in any way. And once you hit these yellows, are 90 days behind, 120 days behind, 150 days behind, 180 days behind, or more. I think the max that they put on here is 180. Just showing that you're in severe default. They don't count every single day and update and be completely accurate, but they're just telling you you either got no problems, you're in the gray, or you're in the yellow, or you're in the red. And so after 2015 August, as you can see here, there's nothing after there. And as you can see, this loan again, 229 went up to 234,000, and now there's nothing in the next columns. Okay, as you can see, educational loan, and as you can see, 180 days past due, 180 days past due, 180 days past due, and now, whoops, it is closed. Let me just show you again. Transfer / sold. Now, sometimes that will happen, and we will explain to you either one-on-one or in another presentation or something. And there are some instances where they may transfer it to a third-party debt collector, and that is fantastic because that third-party debt collector has a certain amount of time frame to give you notices, and if you require them to validate the debt, then they will just pass it off again, hot potato, hot potato, hot potato, and nobody will be able to validate that there's a debt. So basically, Sallie Mae, Department of Education, feel that they can't collect on this anymore, that they're in a bind, that they've been caught for the fraud, and that they can't prove the debt that they're allegedly collecting on, and so they pass it off and pass off and pass it off. There are some ways to permanently discharge this so that it never comes up again, and there are some little bit easier ways to get them to just leave you alone and take it off your credit report and not be in collections anymore. Once again, this is the credit report for Department of Education. Again, remarks: account closed due to high transfer. No, excuse me. Account closed due to transfer to another office. And again, it just goes from goes here back to 2014, 223, 224 with interest. It keeps racking up all the way to $234,032 balance, and then it goes to zero. So pretty cool to see that on someone's credit report, to see the proof that this stuff really works. And then just to show you that on the same individual's credit report, although you can't necessarily verify this because I'm blacking out the name and social security number and the date of birth and all that, but basically I circled this. You have no collections on file. This is the same individual's credit report. So if they did pass it off to a third-party company and that company was collecting on it and coming after them for it, it wouldn't say you have no collections on file. So, and again, I, for privacy reasons, blacked out the address, current, former address, things like that. What else we got? This was this was somebody else's from back in 2014. We did a similar process. It's hard to read here, but basically it says Sallie Mae does not hold any active federal or private loans for you. And then at the bottom they had an original loan amount of $6,500 down to zero is their new calculation. I don't know why they raised the interest rate from 5.2 to 10.7. It really doesn't matter if it's zero what the interest rate is. I find that pretty funny, but that's pretty much it. I mean, we've done this a number of times now. Haven't done it hundreds of times, but this stuff really does work. I think I have one more. Invoice sanitize. Let's see. So here you go. Here is a. No, I don't know. I think this is just the original statement. I just wanted to show you. And that's a copy of what we first page of what we sent. That's pretty much it. Check out our website once again. To reiterate, if you become a secured party creditor, if you go to products SPC done for you process, or the status correction course where you can learn and do the private citizenship secured party process yourself, that gives you a lot more options to deal with those debts and those accounts. And if you're brand new, I would recommend that explore the website, see if it resonates with you, see if you like the information. I do try to give a lot of free information under free documents, and I will be adding more, and I have spent hours and hours this week adding more to help people with foreclosure, to help people with debt collector processes, for people to see examples of court processes, trusts, and everything from trust meeting minutes to quit claiming your home into a trust, to trust certificates, to miscellaneous cease and desist letter to get credit card companies to stop phoning you, and even how to disqualify unethical judges that overstep their bounds. the original Articles of Confederation for the original Republic of the Common Law United States. I posted that up there. I have a lot more to add to here, but this is kind of an archive. Keep checking back. We have basically we just have a lot of information. So the number two things I would do. Number one, I would explore the site when you have time, preferably on a computer, not on a phone. And then number two, I would definitely sign up for the email list. Just confirm that you're on our email list. Check your emails. Use your best email, because sometimes I send out a webinar invite the day before on a fly when I realize I have a little bit extra time this week. I want to host a webinar tomorrow night. And if you use your primary email address, then you'll be sure to get that notice and be able to register for the live events that we do and that we are going to be doing more of throughout the 2016 and into 2017 and beyond. So do that, and then check out under the home page once again, status correction, webinar replay from way back last year. Click watch the presentations. They're all free. Read some of the feedback, see what people are saying about us, and if you have any needs for any particular issues when you sign up to our announcement list, which you can unsubscribe at any time if you change your mind. But if you sign up, you will get our information, you will get our email address, and we will also know what your primary area of interest is so that the best department can contact you. Okay, that is really the best way, so that you don't have to jump through and we don't have to have 3 or 4 people talking to you before you finally talk to the expert in that area. Okay, so if you're looking for a particular fixing a particular problem, or you have you want to bounce ideas off of another contract law expert in a particular area, the best thing is to put your information, name, email, phone, and select the best area of interest of what you're mostly interested in. Hit submit, follow the instructions, check your email, and come back to our website frequently. Once again, thank you for watching. And if you do have a student loan that you really need to get handled, you can just obviously check off the Student Loan Debt Eradication tab as your primary area of interest. Thanks for watching once again. Here you go. What was this one? Yep, no collections on file. 234,000 down to 0, and no other activity as of yet as far as collections. And it is all the way now April 1st, 2016. So pretty successful process. If you need to know what to do, give us our opinion on what to do, give us a call, sign up for our website, and we'll be talking with you. Look forward to it. Thanks for watching.